I didn't show more sympathy for my wife when she mangled her hand using a gift from her mother that I told her was dangerous. My wife Dana cannot say no to her mother. Carol shows up with something every few weeks, and Dana always takes it, and always uses it, no matter what it is. We have ceramic gnomes standing guard over our flower beds. We have a drawer full of decorative spoons from places neither of us has ever been. I stopped fighting that stuff years ago. None of it could hurt anybody. Then in March, Carol brought over a bread knife. It was long with a thick serrated edge cut into both sides, like something out of a butcher's kit. Dana slid it straight into our knife block, right between the paring knife and the chef's knife, like it belonged there. I noticed it a few days later when I went looking for the bread knife we already owned. I pulled the new one out and turned it in the light. The double edge was aggressive, deep teeth angled both directions. I tried it on a loaf of sourdough sitting on the counter. The blade barely touched the crust and it grabbed the bread and yanked sideways. My hand slipped an inch from the edge before I caught myself. I put it down and told Dana right there in the kitchen. I said this thing isn't safe. It's not like a normal bread knife. We should put it somewhere the kids can't reach, or just toss it. She said her mom bought it in Germany and it was fine. People had used knives like that for 100 years. I said okay, but I'm not using it, and I'm not letting the kids near it either. That night I told both our kids straight up, don't touch the fancy knife in the block. It isn't safe. 5 days later I was in the garage when I heard Dana scream. Not a startled yell, a scream that didn't stop. I dropped what I was doing and ran into the kitchen, and she was standing at the counter with her hand pressed against her chest, blood running down her wrist and dripping off her elbow onto the tile. A bagel sat split open on the cutting board like nothing had happened to it at all. I grabbed a stack of paper towels and pressed them into her palm, then wrapped a dish towel around that and told her to hold her arm up over her head. She was crying, saying she couldn't feel her thumb right. I looked at the cut for half a second. The web of skin between her thumb and finger was open wide. I knew this wasn't something a bandage fixes. We live 4 blocks from St. Vincent's. I yelled for our son Wyatt to grab the keys. He drove while I sat in the back with Dana, her hand braced against my shoulder, pressure on the wound the whole way. She kept apologizing to Wyatt for scaring him. At the hospital, I handed over her insurance card, her date of birth, her allergies, because she was too pale and shaky to talk. A hand surgeon came down within 20 minutes and said the knife had gone through the connective tissue and nicked the tendon that lets her bend her thumb. She needed surgery that night. I stood next to the bed the whole time they prepped her. I held her good hand until they wheeled her back. I did not say I told you so, not once, not even close to it. When she came out of surgery groggy and asked what happened to the knife, I told her I threw it in the outside trash can, under the lid, so nobody would find it and get curious. She didn't say thank you. She said, "You've got that look." I told her I didn't have a look. She said I did, the same one her dad gets when he's right and doesn't want to say it. I told her I was just glad her thumb still worked. She turned toward the wall and didn't answer. For the next 2 weeks she wore a brace up to her forearm and couldn't drive or cook. I did it all. I cut her food, I washed her hair over the kitchen sink because she couldn't get the wrap wet. She thanked me for that, but every so often she'd catch me looking at her hand and say, "Stop looking at me like that." I wasn't looking at her like anything. 3 weeks after the surgery, a box showed up on our porch. Carol had ordered Dana a replacement knife, same brand, overnighted from some specialty kitchen store, with a card taped to the lid that read, "So you're never scared of blades again, my clumsy girl." Dana opened it in the kitchen with her hand still in the brace, 6 screws worth of hardware holding her thumb joint together, and she went quiet staring down into the box. Then she picked the knife up by the handle, walked straight past me out the back door, and dropped it into the same trash can I'd used for the first one. She came back inside, picked up her phone off the counter, and called her mother right in front of me. "Stop sending me knives," she said. "I almost lost my thumb. I don't want another one, and I don't want to hear about it again." Carol started to say something on the other end. Dana didn't wait for it. She hung up, set the phone face down on the counter, and looked at me. "Don't say it," she said. I hadn't said anything.